Hey everyone, Tankenstein here. In this video I'll give you your complete XM8 AGS review. I'll go over its stats, its roles, how it plays, its strengths and weaknesses, and then give you my final recommendation of if you should purchase it or not. Now, if you guys don't mind, please like and comment the heck out of this video because I've been trying to get into Gaijin's partner program so that videos like this do not have to come out of my own pocket, and it will severely help the algorithm. Plus, I won't have to research all the modules before I start filming, but at least you know I've spent a ton of time in this tank to learn it inside and out so I can make a better video for you. But that being said, let's get into the video. To start, let's go over its stats. It has a 72 km/h top speed, 25 to over 40 degrees per second turret traverse depending on crew skill and modules used. It has a 5-second flat rate of fire due to an autoloader that can carry 21 shells, and this is unaffected by crew skill. It also has 3 crew, which is 1 commander, 1 gunner, and 1 driver. It has a 105 XM35 cannon that can fire heat FS, HESH, smoke, and 2 types of APF SDS, and additionally, like most American tanks, it features a top-mounted 50 cal which is good at getting assists and aircraft kills, alongside the occasional kill of a lightly armored vehicle. Now, in my first moments with the XM8 in a match, I was literally pushed off a bridge by allies and drowned, but I decided to not let this be an omen for things to come. If nothing else, at least I learned that this is not amphibious. But, being that this is not a magical amphib tank, it begs the question, what is the role of the XM8 AGS? Well, it's an oddly shaped light tank. It's slim and tall, which can lead to a good amount of instability, especially when firing broadside and on the move. To this point, it is highly affected by terrain and will bounce and jump with almost every single bump, which can easily throw you off your aim, even with the great stabilizer on this tank. In its normal form without the level 3 armor, it is relatively fast, especially with the engine upgrades, and can scout very well. Base capping can be difficult until you get those engine upgrades, however, as many MBTs will simply beat you to the base due to the sluggish base acceleration of the XM8. This is doubly so if you're using the level 3 armor. Its cannon, especially when equipped with either APF SDS shells, but more so with the top ranked C76A1 shell, will destroy nearly any tank that it faces with ease, making this a great infiltrator tank. Between the ridiculously low reload time, good speed when upgraded, and competent cannon, this can easily wreak havoc behind enemy lines or from a distance if you're more into scouting. This, however, is changed dramatically with the introduction of the level 3 armor. Now, the XM8's level 3 armor was, in real life, only designed to stop light handheld anti-tank weaponry, and not, for example, the T-80's 125mm cannon. Ultimately, unless you're facing an enemy firing some sort of a low-pen shell, like maybe what's in the Begleitpanzer 57 and from a distance, this armor really won't stop much. It gives additional protection against HMGs and heat FS, but really that's about it. APF SDS, the predominant shell choice that you'll be facing with the XM8, slices through its level 3 armor with no problems. To this point, the armor adds around 6 tons of weight, which is over 33% of the original weight of the XM8. This slows it down dramatically, which is bad, being that aggressive scouting is the main strength and role of this tank. It turns it from being a fairly quick light tank to having less speed than some World War II medium tanks. To give you an idea of the speed that you can gain with the engine upgrades and then lose with the level 3 armor, let's get into a quick stat. You gain 1.8 seconds faster acceleration to top speed with full engine upgrades, but with the level 3 armor you lose 4.6 seconds of acceleration, which puts you at a deficit of 2.8 seconds of acceleration even if you have all the speed upgrades researched and in use. This makes you substantially slower than the stock XM8, which is already a bit slow to accelerate with no engine upgrades. This robs you of your speed, which is your main strength, and replaces it with an armor that is questionable at best. In each match that I played with the XM3 where I had level 3 armor equipped, it has not stopped a single shell from killing me, both because everyone has APF SDS ammo which totally disregards the level 3 armor, but also because the level 3 armor has huge weak spots. For example, between the hole and the front of the turret is a weak spot that is totally exposed, which is, quite often, where you will be shot and die anyways. I've been saved numerous times by shells hitting the cannon breech, but not once by the level 3 armor. Not only this, but by adding armor you lose your smoke grenades, which have actually saved me numerous times when using the XM8. This said, the speed that you gain from not having the level 3 armor equipped will save you far more times than the additional level 3 armor will, unless you're in matches where everyone's just using HMGs and low pen cannons. A more appropriate option would be if Gaijin had added the level 2 armor option, which should still protect you against most HMGs, but won't overburden you to the point that the level 3 armor does. To be fair, if the base armor of the XM8 was a bit more substantial and not just the 25mm of aluminum that it currently has, I think the additional armor package provided by the level 3 would be a great addition, but this is not the case, unfortunately. I'm not saying that the level 3 armor is bad. The only real case in which I would predict it would be useful is in a down tier and when you're pushing with your team and not trying to scout. Unfortunately, there is not an option to add or remove the level 3 armor when in a match, so you're stuck with whatever you chose prior to the match. This said, however, assuming that you're not trying to transform this tank into something that it isn't by equipping the level 3 armor, this tank is best served by staying hidden and scouting, as well as by taking pot shots when you can in order to destroy enemy ground forces. You can almost think of this tank like a special ops soldier that acts as both an advanced scout and a sharpshooter. That is, in my experience, the role that best suits this tank. So that all said, let's go over its strengths and weaknesses, and I'll start off with its strengths first. First, as an agile and responsive control mechanism. The XM8 responds very quickly and deftly to any input commands that you may give it. Second, as a good cannon. The 105mm cannon with APF SDS should be able to take out most tanks around its BR with ease and at a distance. It also has an autoloader plus fast reload speed. Also, you do not lose reload speed if a crew member dies. Additionally, it has awesome 10 times magnification, which plays perfectly in the aggressive scouting role that I mentioned earlier. It also has a great turret traverse even at stock. The turret traverse of the XM8 feels almost like you're playing arcade. Additionally, as mentioned before, and as part of its role, it has the ability to scout vehicles, which will earn you additional Silver Lions pretty easily. It also has a very high binocular height, which should allow you to see above high walls and scout more efficiently. This is actually pretty unusual to the XM8, and as far as I know, it's pretty unique to it, just because, again, the XM8 is a very tall vehicle, and it also has a periscope that extends very high above it. And finally, it has excellent night vision and thermal sights, which is amazing, especially, of course, when you're playing on a night map. And now with its strengths out of the way, let's go over its weaknesses. And first, despite it being a light tank, it is kind of slow, at least when stock, which makes it really difficult to grind. Secondly, it has poor armor even at level 3. In most cases, the additional armor does not even matter. The XM8's level 1 stock armor also makes you susceptible to some HMGs and strafing aircraft. Third, it is very oddly shaped and tall. This makes the XM8 very easy to hit and also extremely unbalanced. This vehicle moves very oddly when firing on the move or when on uneven terrain, which makes for sometimes unpredictable movement, damage tracks, and occasionally a total loss of momentum for the tank. It also has no premium bonuses despite costing either a ton of effort, money, or both. Additionally, it does not come fully researched, so you need to know what you're getting into before even considering the purchase of this vehicle. And finally, it has poor crew size. This will lead to you being one-shotted almost every single time that you're hit by an enemy tank. So, do I recommend this tank? Yes and no. I recommend it if you have ludicrous amounts of free money to spend, but in terms of cost effectiveness, it's just not there for the XM8. Now, I'm not saying that this is a bad tank. In a competition versus other similar BR light tanks, when not considering price, the XM8 would rank right up there at the top for its overall effectiveness and its role plus its versatility. Where it suffers is that when considering that this tank will likely be at a bare minimum 65 GJM but will likely cost much more than that, it just can't compete with other vehicles that you can purchase in the store, especially if you're looking to spend real money. If I were to buy this tank right now as I record this video at 82 GJN, it would literally cost me over $110 USD before I have that ridiculous sales tax added on. When you consider that, it's around $120. That's insane. If I wasn't a YouTuber that could recoup at least some of these funds from the production of this video, I would never have considered spending even a dime on it. For your information, I did not purchase this tank outright, but rather grinded for it with the assistance of the marketplace for some parts and pieces during the event that it was unlockable. For comparison, you can get yourself the XM1, which is currently at the same BR at 9.3 for just $60, and it comes with 2,000 Golden Eagles, 15 days of premium time, plus a cool camo. Plus, it's a premium tank that comes loaded with premium bonuses, a lower repair bill, and has all the modules fully unlocked and purchased when you buy this tank. Did I mention that the XM1 is a bit better than the XM8? it's quicker, more survivable, and can do overall more, all without needing to sacrifice its mobility for ineffective armor. All of that at approximately half the cost of the XM8 right now. Now let's just say if for whatever reason you did want to spend that $120, which again is the approximate cost after tax of the XM8 as I record this video. You could then throw in the T72 AV terms, which also has all the bonuses of the aforementioned XM1, but is a higher BR and just a nasty tank all around. That's the dilemma. Are you really that interested in a light tank for that much money that doesn't even come with anything special that you would forego other great vehicles first? Not only that, but the US Army also tested a 120mm auto-loaded variant of the XM8 in real life too, so there's a chance that that XM8 variant could come to the game in the regular tech tree. Now again, am I saying that the XM8 is bad? No, not at all. It is at very least competent, and at most it's a great tank. What it isn't though is a great deal. And even if this were priced at 45 GJN, I would still turn you towards the purchase of other top tier vehicles first, before I recommend the XM8. Its value just does not make sense for the cost. For me, it's a great asset to my 9.3 BR lineup, but I would never have considered it if I was not part of the event that took place in order to grind for it. For those reasons, I just cannot recommend it. Even though I would recommend it if it were a $60 premium pack sold by Gaijin with all the premium pack bonuses, and if the XM8 AGS was a premium tank. You'd have to be crazy to choose this tank over some of the other Gaijin store deals, especially when there's a sale. To me, it's just that simple. Now, this said, thank you all so much for watching this video. I hope that you enjoyed it and learned a lot from it, and I hope that I could kind of steer you to or from the XM8, whatever you decided after watching this video. Please like, comment, and subscribe to support my channel if you'd like to. Either way, thanks again guys, and I'll see you all on the other side. Take care everyone.